So Trump has been going more and more insane by the day. And of course, this is a very volatile time in general with what's going on in Israel and Gaza and Biden backing Netanyahu no matter what he does. You'd want a stable, sane option in the two major parties. It's very likely Biden's going to be the nominee and Trump's going to be the nominee. And you have Biden signing off on whatever Netanyahu wants to do, and you have Trump basically playing with his own feces. So let me walk you through some of his Truth Social posts from recent days. So Trump said this on Veterans Day. In honor of our great veterans on Veterans Day, we pledge to you that we will root out the communists, Marxists, fascists, and radical left thugs that live like vermin within the confines of our country, lie, steal, and cheat on elections, and will do anything possible, whether legally or illegally, to destroy America and the American dream. So that's good. You're calling basically anybody who disagrees with you communist or Marxist or fascist or radical left thugs, and you're calling them vermin. That's good. Real stable country stuff going on here. And of course, there's tremendous irony in going after them for lying and stealing and cheating on elections when the Attorney General of Texas just came out the other day on Steve Bannon's show and said in no uncertain terms, if I didn't sue to block mail-in ballots in Texas, Biden would have won Texas. So in other words, they were stealing and rigging and cheating on the election. They claim, oh yeah, I could block the mail-in ballots. It's totally fine. It's totally legal. No, you are disenfranchising millions of voters. And so Biden would have won Texas if not for their fuckery. Not according to me, according to them. So he's accusing them of what they do. Of course, he tried to pressure Mike Pence to overturn the results of the election. He was trying to steal it as he accuses Biden of stealing it. He continues, the threat from outside forces is far less sinister, dangerous, and grave than the threat from within. Despite the hatred and anger of the radical left lunatics who want to destroy our country, we will make America great again. And look, this is what people are talking about, that there's all these plans that have been leaking internally where people close to Trump say they're planning on invoking the Insurrection Act on day one. Trump is going to go after his political opponents. Facts be damned. Crimes be damned. He's going to weaponize the Justice Department to go after his political enemies, not based on real crimes, just based on retribution and revenge. They're already talking about Bill Barr, for example. Bill Barr didn't commit a crime. Bill Barr just didn't go along with Trump's attempt to steal the election, and they're talking about targeting them, targeting him and others who are in a similar position. So we're just getting started. Calling your political opponents communists and vermin, we're just getting started here. We also have this. He came out and said the following. Judge Engoron should end this ridiculous political witch hunt against me. Engoron is overseeing the fraud trial, the civil fraud trial against Trump. I have totally won this case, which should never have been brought. So he says he totally won the case. This is a case he's literally already lost. All we're doing now is the sentencing portion. All we're doing now is gathering more information to determine whether or not he's going to have to pay the full $250 million fine, or if it's going to be $100 million or $40 million or whatever it might be. So he's already guilty. He's already not guilty is not the term for civil trial. He's already liable for fraud. Okay, but in layman's terms, yes, he's guilty, and he'll be paying up to $250 million, and he's probably going to lose his business license in New York. And he's out there saying, I totally won this case. You already lost the case. This is insane. If anybody else said something that factually untrue, it would be huge news. But with Trump, it's like, it's just a day that ends in Y. The only fraud was committed by AG Letitia James in convincing the judge that Mar-a-Lago was only worth $18 million in order to make my numbers look bad. All right, let me pause again. The $18 million number comes from Trump himself. They said Mar-a-Lago was worth $18 million to try to pay lower taxes. And then the judge cites that to say this is ridiculous. And they're like, the judge is ridiculous. They say Mar-a-Lago is only worth $18 million. It's worth way more than that. And he goes on to say it's worth 50 or 100 times the amount. She campaigned on getting Trump. She should be prosecuted. No, she's going after crimes that have been already proven. Again, it's a civil case, so it's not the same as a criminal case, but the evidence was overwhelming that he did tax fraud, insurance fraud, bank fraud. There were endless lies in a million different ways. Undervaluing property to pay lower taxes, then overvaluing it to try to get a better deal from a bank. Like, it's classic fraud. And he's out there saying, I won the case. And he's out there lying about what the point Letitia James made. So there you go. This guy's out there saying he won a case he literally already lost. He's out there calling his political opponents communists and vermin, literally dehumanizing language, of course. And remember, this is a guy who famously said, I'm going to suspend the Constitution as well. He said that not that long ago. There was a report from John Carl that came out the other day where Trump apparently truly bought into the Mike Lindell line of bullshit that I think the date was on August 13th during Biden's term. Trump was going to be reinstated as president. He actually bought that and thought it was real. There's literal, audio tapes that were released of him basically floating that theory. Like, yeah, I could be back in. He very famously said, 2024 or before. So he bought into this notion that he might actually get reinstated as president. This guy is insanely disconnected from reality. And it just shows how decrepit our political landscape is at the moment. That, look, I'll come out and say it. I think he's the favorite to be president of the United States again right now. For a long time, he wasn't. Now he is. Biden slipping among young people, slipping among Arab Americans and Muslim Americans, dropping 11 points with Democrats, 37% approval rating. Now, Trump is not popular. Trump is not liked. In fact, Trump is hated. But if the election were today, Trump would win. And this is the kind of stuff he's saying. There are no victories here. All around, this is devastating. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.